What's up, guys? It's Kara Corey here, and if you're anything like me, I have a sweet tooth, and when I'm starting to cut back my diet, whether I'm in prep mode or whether I'm just trying to eat healthier, I still need to be able to have my sweets and find a way to make them fit. So one of the things that's been all the rage has been Pizookies. I've personally never gone out to a restaurant and actually ordered one and ate one, but they look mighty tasty. So I'm gonna create for you an at-home protein Pizookie. So we are gonna bake this in the oven to kind of give it that skillet effect. So you're gonna, if you have one of those cute little skillets, that'll work great. If not, just get some type of like smaller oven-safe baking dish. That should be fine and work just as well too. So what I wanted to create today was just like a peanut butter, chocolate chip Pizookie. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm gonna use my favorite MTS whey protein for this, is the peanut butter cookies and cream. It's super delicious. I love this one for making any type of like chocolate chip cookie type recipe. I think that one is the best. But again, if you have any other type of MTS whey, sub that in. And I do want to make a note that a lot of people that make my recipes, if you say it doesn't turn out exactly like I'm showing you here, then odds are you're not using MTS whey. So that is going to make a big difference in the quality of the products. You guys can get that at tigerfitness.com. Shipping is rather quick as well, you guys. So to get started, you're going to want to preheat your oven at 375 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and take our bowl and start adding in our dry ingredients. So for this, I am going to make an individual serving size. So this is really nice for you guys because the macros are for eating the whole thing. You don't have to split it with anyone. We're going to do 1 full scoop of the protein. That way we get, 25 good grams of protein right in there. And next, for flour, you guys can play around with options for what type of flour you want to use. I personally like to use whole wheat flour, but I'm out of it, so I'm shamefully using white flour. So I'm going to add 1 full tablespoon of white flour right into the whey. But again, if you have whole wheat flour, I think that tastes even better and would add a little bit of fiber. Your other option is to use oats. You can grind them up into an oat flour, but I'm gonna kind of like give it an oaty-ness to it. So I'm just gonna add 1 full tablespoon of oats as well. And then that's gonna kind of be the base for our cookie in terms of the dough. To make it rise, we are gonna add a little bit of baking powder, and we're just gonna add 1/4 teaspoon in there. And anytime I do like a baked recipe, I always like to add a little bit of salt because it does kind of help with the flavors and to make it rise. So I'm just using a few cranks of my sea salt. Okay, and I'm gonna just go ahead and set this aside for now. The other thing that I'm going to use for adding a little bit of fat to this is 5 grams of coconut oil. You can play around with how much of the coconut oil you add to this. You could sub in margarine or butter if you want, applesauce if you want. There's some other things you can sub there, but I like the coconut oil and the flavor that it adds to it. So I already have in here, not that you guys can see, 5 grams of coconut oil already melted for like 40 seconds in the microwave. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and we're gonna add 1 whole egg to the coconut oil. So that egg yolk is gonna add a little bit more fat to this recipe, but it's definitely a myth that egg yolks are bad for you. Egg yolks have a lot of good nutrition in them, a lot of B vitamins, and the white is just a complete source of protein. So like 5 grams of fat. It's nothing crucial. Yeah, there's some cholesterol in it. You do need cholesterol in your diet. You just don't want to exceed that cholesterol. So I'm just going ahead and whipping that up. And then in my egg coconut oil combo, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of Splenda. Optional, but I want to make it a little bit sweeter because this is going to be a dessert. We're going to go ahead and just mix that around together. Gotta do a double check, make sure I didn't forget any ingredients because I have done that before. So once you've got that all whisked together, we're going to go ahead and dump this. We're going to go ahead and dump this into our dry mix. And then we're just going to go ahead and whisk that all together until we get a cookie dough batter consistency. If you guys find that your cookie batter is looking a little on the dry side, just add a little bit more egg white to it. You can add a little bit of milk in there, water, just to make sure it's moist enough, but it is going to produce a very thick like batter. So what we're going to do is take whatever pan you're using to throw in the oven. Make sure you spray that really good. I'm not going to use oil like a typical skillet cookie would to save on fat macros. That way we can add in the chocolate chips. So we're going to take our dish and you're going to go ahead and get all your cookie dough batter in there. I'm not necessarily going to spread it out over the entire plate. I'm just going to kind of level it out. Once you've got that spread in your pan, I have measured out, although I just threw them on my countertop, a half a serving, which is a half a tablespoon of Toll House milk chocolate chips. Half a tablespoon is not that bad. It's up to you depending on macros if you want to add more or less. I'm just going to go in and strategically spread them out nice and evenly so that each bite has a chocolate chip in it. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and throw this in the oven, as I mentioned, 375 degrees. And we're going to let that bake for 10 minutes. All right, guys, 10 minutes has passed and my house smells like a chocolate chip cookie. I baked this for the full 10 minutes and it did come out a nice cookie consistency. If you want it to be a little more ooey gooey in the middle, then maybe just cook it for 6 to 8 minutes, but this came out perfect. Now, depending on how you're using this, if you're subbing it in for like a healthier dessert and have the macros, what I'm gonna do is just add a little bit of slow churned Eadie's ice cream to it because it's pretty low in fat, and a true Pizookie, if you order it at a restaurant, is gonna have ice cream on it. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna make this super chocolatey by adding on just like a little scooper of chocolate ice cream. We're just gonna plump that right on there so that it can get nice and melty. And then if you're feeling up to it, I love whipped cream, so we're gonna add a little bit of that on there as well. And there we go. It's that easy. That is going to be my peanut butter cookies and cream protein Pizookie. It's delicious. This is single serve. The macros listed below are not going to include the ice cream or the whipped cream, but you guys should be able to fit this into a healthy diet and enjoy it and not feel deprived. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try. If you do, hit that like button and keep checking back for more.